The 1930 Grand Prix season continued the malaise that had taken over the sport. Although there was little technical advance, more privateer teams were forming, getting some factory support. The AIACR continued to mandate its fuel-regulated Formula Libre, open formula rules. Across the Atlantic, the AAA abandoned the AIACR regulations. Their new regulations were derisively called the junk formula by purists, opening up to their own version of Formula Libre, with modified stock standard cars of up to 366 cubic inches with 2 seats. In the dozen major races of the season, the honors were evenly shared by the 3 major manufacturers. Bugatti won the 2 National Grand Prix of France and Belgium, as well as at Monaco and Reims. In the Mediterranean theater, Alfa Romeo had early success at Alessandria and the Targa Florio. Maserati finally claimed victory in their first major races and had 4 wins in Italy and the San Sebastian Grand Prix in Spain. Achille Varzi was the preeminent driver of the season with the 2 race wins for Alfa Romeo and 3 for Maserati, on his way to winning the Italian Drivers' Championship. The second Monaco Grand Prix attracted a large, high-quality field. From 40 applications, 24 starters were selected. Many top drivers and constructors on the grid like Louis Chiron and William Grover Williams for Bugatti, the Alfa Romeo was not entered, so it fell upon the new Scuderia Ferrari to represent them, but did not show up. 2 other notable absentees were the Italian rivals Achille Varzi and Tazio Nuvolari. René Dreyfus had a specially modified Bugatti T35B, was installed an extra 30-liter fuel tank in the passenger's seat to allow him to run non-stop in the race. René Dreyfus. It was the first major win for the driver from Nice, but both Ettore Bugatti and Chiron were annoyed to be beaten by a privateer and would not congratulate him. Dreyfus earned over 200,000 French francs in prize money and bonuses, would be today the equivalent of €500,000. The Indianapolis 500 produced one of the most dominant driving displays in the race's history with Billy Arnold and his modified 2.5-liter Miller. Arnold claimed pole position, then led for all but 2 of the 200 laps, to win with a 4-lap margin. With 2 further victories, he then went on to claim the 1930 AAA champion. It's important to note that the 1930 Grand Prix season was neither a driver's nor a constructor's championship. Instead, individual Grand Prix races were held, each offering different prizes. Drivers and manufacturers chose events based on the prize money or their chances of securing a win. Many participants entered races hoping for a lucky day to achieve a prize-worthy finish, as cars of this era were notoriously unreliable. Participation was open to manufacturers, who hired professional drivers, as well as privateers, who simply purchased a Grand Prix car. It was common to see 2 identical cars competing, one maintained by the official manufacturer and the other by a private team or garage. For instance, Ferrari at the time operated as a private team running Alfa Romeo P2 cars. The great Achille Varzi dominated the season, winning 5 major races while driving for Alfa Romeo and Maserati. René Dreyfus claimed victory in the year's most prestigious event and secured another minor win. Meanwhile, the legendary Louis Chiron had a less successful season. Bugatti, Chiron's team, struggled to keep up with its rivals as their cars began to lose competitive power, and Chiron faced challenges as a result.